G'day guys, welcome back to Valheim. Hope you guys are doing well. In the previous episode, towards the very end, I experimented a little bit with glass for the back wall of our main building, but yeah, I kind of got frustrated with it, to be honest. Hence I was sort of thinking towards the end whether or not I wanted to maybe play around in the Ashlands instead and sort of, you know, procrastinate a little bit. But I have actually done a little bit of research, just a very, very small amount, just so not to spoil anything for myself, but apparently the mechanics with glass is very, very different compared to working with any other types of material. So that would explain a lot, because there's a lot of things that we cannot do with glass in terms of, I guess, using it to support more pieces of glass, if that makes sense. It's sort of very fragile, as you would expect with glass, hence the difficulty. So I essentially need to work out a way to be able to sort of almost like, I don't know, kind of hold the glass together, if that makes sense. And that is probably going to be the biggest challenge for us. So if we still continue to want to use glass. So, I mean, we could. So I'm just gonna see what else we can do here. So if I placed, yeah, so it seems like we can sort of connect some of the glass pieces to side walls and have things sort of hold, but I'm not entirely sure if we'll be able to then get these walls in. Ah, yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, I was sort of thinking perhaps maybe it's just really about getting the build order right. So you need to start thinking about your glass very early on, and once you've done that, you can essentially sort of get other pieces sitting in where you want the glass to sort of mold, if that makes sense. So yeah, that looks pretty decent. I think I've got the shape that I want from the outside, but I will just double check once more. And just because we're using glass doesn't mean that we can't incorporate a little bit of wood and decorative wood in this area. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. The tricky part though is making sure that you know, it's not obstructing too much, and also that it can actually sit on the surface that we place it on, because I don't think we'll be able to actually put anything on the glass itself. So if you look at the way the glass works, I can't even put wood on it, I think. Yeah, because it doesn't offer any structural support whatsoever. So yeah, we're gonna have to rely on the Grouston pillars and perhaps maybe the stone as well, but I think that's doable, very doable. So the question is, what kind of what kind of decoration do we want? So I'm thinking we probably want one of these pieces here, like the ashwood window, and perhaps maybe ashwood decorative walls, potentially. I don't know about maybe having some dark wood poles and stuff like that in there, but before we get to that though, let me just place down this, because I do need to get this in. That doesn't really look right, does it? I need it to, yeah, be sticking out from that surface. So that looks fine. Yeah, with us having removed most of the wood from this wall, you could argue to add like additional tiers on this wall to house more stuff. But anyway, one thing at a time. So I need, oh, I do have some ash wood already, but if I want a dark wood decorative piece, I'm gonna need a little bit of tar, I think. Hang on. It is just the ash wood decorative wall that I want, I think. Yeah. Alright, let's give it a go and see what we can achieve. Yeah, this is definitely where the challenge is going to be. So I do like that, but I sort of want it to be sitting a little bit further back so it doesn't poke out on the actual wall itself. So I think I should be able to do that by clipping it through if I just get the right angle. So bear with me. Yeah, so this is sort of the angle that we need. We just need to push it back a little bit. And yeah, that kind of looks nice. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And then we sort of want to do similar things with some of the other pieces that we're going to put. So this, for instance, definitely needs to try and sit a little bit back as well. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look bad at all. Can we get anything in these sections, though? That seems to be maybe a bit of a challenge. Without making it look too silly. I can do something like that, and I could probably, like, snap the next piece to that one. Like that, for instance. I do need a little bit of grouston, actually. I haven't placed the grouston back down. Yeah, we do have a little bit of stuff sort of poking out, though, don't we? So maybe I should really just freeform it from that side as well. Is this what we want, though? Because we almost seem to have this thing sort of going where there's something else in the back layer. I suppose it doesn't look too bad, though. I'm sort of thinking about this cross section here and whether or not that should remain. If I try to get rid of the cross, though. I'm gonna have to get rid of one of these. It's alright. It wasn't too difficult to get that in. So... yeah, I'm just scared about removing this and not being able to place it back down again, considering how complicated this roof was. But I'll take the risk. Maybe there's even an argument to take this down. And then maybe even this section here. So let me take that down again. And yeah, we are just going to experiment a little bit. That does expose the need for a little bit more grouston. Right underneath this piece here. Which I think we've already got that covered on the other side though. Now, what will happen if I try to attach this to the bottom? Does that look any good? Yeah, no. That is not what we want. I don't know if I can really get the right angle from here. Maybe if I check it from inside, might have a little bit more luck. Oh, but we do have the glass that's in the way already. Yeah, I think I managed to get it. So that should be in place, but I guess what I don't really know is whether or not that sort of starts poking out down here in the silo. It doesn't look like it, so I think we can get away with that. Yeah, and I think it makes sense. It makes sense for us to have removed all of those pieces before. And the next problem is we've got this weird aesthetic with the dividing wall that's going on the inside, sort of sticking out to the front. So I feel like I need to address that. Probably with some dark wood. But let's come back to it. I do want to work on getting ourselves some more food. So, starting with a whole bunch of omelets. Okay, we are fresh out of eggs. We should be able to get some more. There you go. We should all enjoy that. I totally forgot to try and grow a birch tree, didn't I? I know it can be a little dangerous going out here at night, but There we go. Right. I would like to cook some more, but I'm just not entirely sure what ingredients we can use up. I'm thinking maybe some fish wraps would be a good idea. We've got plenty of fish. I just can't remember how to make those. Barley flour. Okay. We just need to actually grill some of the fish. Plenty of barley flour. I think the fish cooks pretty quickly, right? Like, I'll hang around here because I don't want to burn any of it. I'll put some more in. Yeah, we'll do a few of these, and that should keep us going for snacks for a while. Does it take up... It actually takes up a lot of the fish at once. Yeah, 2 at once, okay. It's probably not the most efficient thing, but... we have a lot of raw fish, so... I guess I'm okay with making a few. And I'm sure we'll be able to stock up on more raw fish pretty easily. Wolf meat. I can't remember if there's a dish that we can make from wolf meat, actually. I think that's not a thing. I think wolf meat is just something that we purely grill, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while since we've had it, but... let's throw that in. And we'll throw that in there as well. Lox pies. I think we should be able to make some lox pies. Potentially. I think we have a little bit of the meat. So let's not go too crazy. Maybe I'll use up like 8 of it. And we might need the cloudberries. And throw a bit of wood in there as well. Right. Yeah, I'll just chuck grilled fish in there. Might do some simple bread dough. I'm just gonna get the bread in, and then I'll quickly run to the windmill. Okay, snack time. Maybe some sausages would be a good idea. Again, starting to run out of sausages. Starting to run out of thistle, actually. And it's kind of timely because both the thistle and the entrails, actually we are out of entrails. But both the thistle and the entrails should be something that we'll be able to go and find in some swamps for when we actually go and explore the Bog Witch update whenever that drops. I'm sort of banking that it will actually be during Halloween, like maybe like 30th of October or something, which is not great because I'm actually going to be away for a while at that time. But I assume it's a permanent update, or could it be a temporary one? I know there are temporary things that only last for, you know, a specific season. Okay, I think we're done with our cook-up. Gonna have a sleep. We'll visit the Askvin once we wake up, and then we'll get back to building, and hopefully maybe finalizing the back wall and what that looks like. I'll quickly grab some fiddleheads, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure if we've got much out there, so I'll throw a few more in. Yeah, just making sure that he's actually eating a little bit. So one thing that I was sort of thinking about doing while we wait for the Deep North update is perhaps maybe we can actually build out the Ashlands fort a little more. I know we're literally just off the coast, but I kind of like it being off the coast. We can, you know, quickly spawn here and go for some bone maws if we need to. But yeah, that's an idea, because this place looks horrendous. Trouble is defending the place while actually building. So I need to maybe build an outer wall initially, like somewhere that is closer to where the shield stops, and after doing that, we should be able to break everything down on the inside and hopefully build things up from there. Anyway, I think we've hung around here long enough, so let's make our way back home. Yeah, because, I mean, us being perched on this rock, you know, it did give us that safety initially when we arrived, but we sort of don't need that anymore. And it's kind of difficult to get around there. Okay, these crystals I assume I don't really need anymore, but I'm just gonna keep hanging on to them for a little bit, just in case. And yeah, we're going to have to sort of figure out what we want to do. Perhaps if we figure out the center first, we might be able to snap things a little bit better. So, let me just fetch a little bit of tar. I don't think we'll need too much. But yeah, the idea is perhaps maybe we want to get these pieces in just to sort of match the look and feel of what we've got going already on the front of the house. I think by doing that, we sort of you know, can create the illusion of cohesion. And by doing that, I should also be able to use that as a semi sort of landing point. But that's not really working. Maybe I need to do something like this initially, and then we'll get that pole in later. But if I can do this and then sort of push this piece back a little bit more. Yeah. Sort of almost there. Let me take that back down and let me experiment with maybe something else. Perhaps maybe there's something else that we can use instead. Like, what about that, for instance? Doesn't look too bad. But I think I prefer the previous one, to be honest. I just want to be able to cover up sections that are a little bit empty, if that makes sense. So yeah, I feel like maybe I do need like a piece like that. Maybe even another one on top of it. I don't know, maybe that's excessive. Let's do that, and then let's get that piece back in. The decorative wall. And yeah, it's just a matter of deciding where exactly we want it placed, because it has to be freeform. I think that's decent. Sort of want to do the same thing on this side, so... Oh, man. The sun is really not helping us at the moment. I sort of want to try and get something symmetrical. Now the question is, do I keep what we've got going on inside? I'll make a decision on the inside piece once we get this pole in and we actually see what it looks like with the pole there. think I can go with a... Yeah, okay, that's definitely not high enough. And I wonder if it's better if I just get like an ashwood pole. To cover up this section. I think the back piece can stay. It does look a little messier than before, but I'm okay with that. I'm changing my mind constantly here, guys, but maybe it can go. And maybe I am going to use the dark wood instead. Like that. Just gonna double check that that doesn't poke out, which it actually does. Okay, not a problem. I think we can go with like a smaller piece like that, and then what we could do is, again, we could do that trick that we've sort of learnt recently by adding a piece like that. We should be able to trick another piece of dark wood to start from halfway. Perfect. Okay. Are we done with our back wall? I think we might be. I don't know if there's anything else we can sort of do to decorate. Banners, perhaps, on the sides or something along those lines, but I guess we don't really have to rush into making those decisions just yet. Looks like our forest is completely built now. And perhaps maybe... Oh, okay. This is still growing. And it's got enough space, which is good. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that, guys. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm pretty happy with my first experience using glass. I know I probably did play around with glass at some point when we found it, but then found that it was kind of too finicky, so I sort of didn't really play around with it much more. But yeah, I'm happy with that. We could possibly put like another raven up top here. I think that might look kind of cool. We have ingredients for a raven. Not really. We need the fine wood. We'll quickly grab that. Get that raven in on that side. Very cool. Alright. mean, our home is really coming along. I really like that aesthetic. That's actually really good. Time to stop procrastinating and deal with the front of the house. So, what do we do here? A very good question. The only issue that I have at the moment is there's no stone that can cover this section, so we're gonna have to, I guess, do some other kind of material. Maybe we could add glass here, and then again more of the wooden decorative pieces, so that doesn't seem far-fetched. Question is, how big do we want that to be? I'm also just looking at this aesthetic here and whether or not we want to do anything with that. I am actually thinking we need to bring this down a little bit. So if I do that, and then I get more stone and sort of bring that stone aesthetic down here, we can then sort of do arches like that, and I think that looks kind of nice. Obviously there'll be, you know, a floor above it. So, yeah, happy with that. And now, a little bit confused as to how to get outside the easiest. I know I've seen a lot of comments recently from you guys suggesting why don't you just like completely start over, like do another build, because I think one of the more compelling arguments was that, you know, this is the home that we started off with while we, you know, didn't really have everything, and then we slowly sort of built everything up. So now that we have everything, you could argue to, you know, make a completely new home with everything taken into consideration before even starting. And yeah, it's not a bad idea, but I don't know if I have that much energy in me to continue, like, and to build like another massive home, you know? So I think that's firmly in the maybe, but most likely not bucket. I'm gonna live with the house that we have. If anything, what we could do is end up perhaps moving the kitchen somewhere. And, you know, we've got that extra space, and I've already talked about maybe how I'm going to use that space. But maybe there's an argument to move the kitchen because the workshop's going to be bigger. Guaranteed. We're probably going to need new things to make new items. And we're probably going to need to also have, you know, new things for the kitchen itself as well. So, you know, a wider kitchen might not be a bad idea. And then we can, you know, hopefully fit everything in. Anyway, again, I'm probably only going to cross that bridge when we have to, whenever the deep north comes. Rightio. So, how do we do this? One thing that I might check is how we've strengthened things up from this back wall here. There doesn't seem to be any Grouston or anything like that supporting this wall. We do have a very small poking wood iron beam, which could be used, I think, to support even more wood iron beams that way if we needed to. But I think more importantly, we could maybe hide that with Grouston. Maybe? So we could have a Grouston pillar going up that way, which comes out through the roof, and then we can sort of use that Grouston pillar to then decorate the front. I know I've been just like thinking out loud for the last, I don't know, 5-10 minutes now, I feel. But I feel like I need to sort of have a think of this before I actually even get started. Anyway, time for bed. We'll have a sleep, visit the Askvin, and then we'll place down, I would say, Grouston pieces. In fact, maybe we need to go out and look for some Grouston. I don't think we have any. If we're gonna look for Grouston, I'm gonna need some decent foods out there. So, yeah, let's do all of that. Very heavy breakfast. Okay, so there are plenty of like buildings and stuff like that that I could perhaps maybe just destroy. Or there's that, I could take Grouston from there. But I sort of like having some natural or naturally occurring things around our fort when we eventually build it. So I might actually venture out a little bit more. And I'm gonna see if I can try and find Grouston somewhere else. Huh, strange. Not sure why we didn't lunge forward there. Oh no, I don't have my potions on me. Yeah, that was a bit of a blunder. A lot of stuff over here. I'm sort of thinking whether or not some of this could be Grouston. I could just simply pick things up. No, not a lot of Grouston at all. There's plenty of wood. Okay. That's a problem. Didn't realize that I had so much wood. Let me just drop some of this stuff. In fact, I may need to drop a few other things here. Just to make way for some grouse. And I am a little bit worried about, like, leaving stacks of wood out here in the Ashlands. I don't know if they could potentially burn, but I guess maybe within the shield it's okay. Surely some of this stuff is Grouston. I want to get the blob to come this way and to explode on the Grouston. Perfect. Yeah, that really saves me a lot of time from having to actually mine. Alright, so we've got quite a bit. What I'll do is just spend a little bit of time now, you know, creating piles, just so that we can secure all of that Grouston near the portal, and then we can bring it across. To be fair though, I don't even know if I need that much. If we do end up remaking the fort, my prediction is that most of the walls are going to have to be Grouston, because, yeah, the stone walls are really just not going to cut it against any of the enemies here. So, better to get some more sturdier materials. I'm sort of wishing that I had the Aspvin cloak at this point. It's alright, we'll get it done. Oh, hang on. This is a good idea. We've got the cart, right? I can make use of the cart, that's for sure. Might just empty everything out. It's been a while since we've used the cart, hasn't it? What episode is it? Episode 80? I don't know, I think that could be roughly when I came across the cart for the first time, or perhaps maybe even earlier. Ooh, let's... Oh no, don't destroy my cart, please. No, come this way. Come this way. Yes. Yes. Come on, my blobby friend. Okay, well, better than nothing, I guess. It can be kind of difficult to spot where your cart is, though, sometimes. Like, it really blends in with the tall grass there. I'm just trying to remember if there's such a thing as overloading the cart. Maybe not. It seems relatively easy to pull. So I'm gonna load it up even more. This is a pretty severe storm though. It is feeling much, much heavier now, though. Okay, good. Yeah, funnily enough, it's actually a lot easier to get yourself grouston than it is to get stone, for instance. I'm gonna need to let go of, I reckon, maybe a stone pile and grab some wood. Oh, okay, we're still overloaded. Yeah, okay, we just have too much of everything. Let me at least bring some grouston home. But I'm gonna need to just tuck a few things away here. Oh no! No, 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 no! Do not! Oh, you bastard. You bastard. Oh, Asquin is tame! That's why. That's why. Okay. This is not great though. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting the Aspin to tame so soon, but I guess it's probably because we've been hanging out here trying to gather ourselves some materials. Which means we now need to start thinking about the next Askvin as well. I don't think I need the crystals anymore. Now, having a tame Askvin probably means that there are probably more enemies that might spawn in the area as well to try and kill it. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing, or perhaps maybe if it sort of aggroes. Really? Really? It doesn't look like it's taken any damage though. But perhaps maybe the safest thing for us to do is to make sure that he's got plenty of food in here, so that if he does take damage, he can recover his HP. I think that's probably a decent idea. Oi, oi, oi. Stop scaring my precious Askvin. Not to mention, he's doing some damage to his makeshift pen here. Just need to make sure that he doesn't get out. Also, could be a storm thing as well. Perhaps maybe there are a lot of enemies spawning because of the storm. Oh god. Yep. We need to take this guy out. 100% before we move on. Let's go. Man. Okay, we're lucky. We're lucky the walls didn't come down. Alright. Time to leave. I think this storm is not doing us any favors. Maybe I shouldn't have hung out there. I just waited for the storm to pass. Oh well. We got the Grouston that we need though, at the very least. I haven't really put too many stacks or anything like that in here, but we've got plenty at the Ashlands base, so we'll shift that across when we need it. Okay. How do we want to do this? I want big Grouston pieces, I think. Just trying to get them to stick where we want them to stick, but it's a bit difficult. Maybe I just need something to guide the first piece in, like that. No, that's not in the right spot. Sort of. I think that's what we want. Come also just trying to plan on how this is all going to come down and through the roof. But I think maybe that's not the spot after all. Maybe it needs to be there. And then perhaps we will need a couple of like Rouston beams. Like that. I don't know if I really like how that looks though, if we used Rouston beams as well. Probably want to work when there's a little bit more light. I'm also looking at the timing of the episode here. We're probably going to be calling it very soon. But let's at the very least have a sleep. So we've got the arch look going on the back and then on the front of the hall. I sort of want to continue with the same aesthetic. But I know in the front of the house, the front of the hall, the sides, they don't exactly have arches, do they? They're sort of a little bit more squarish. Yeah, I suppose I do have a beam in the middle, don't I? For the front. So maybe it's not so bad. The problem though is I think there's only like one beam over here, right? Which is exactly in the center as well. I don't know how I managed that. So if we are going to use a beam, I think it needs to be the same look. We can't have two beams to bridge the divide. Or bridge the gap. We need only one. Yeah, okay, so that might let us do it right there. So if I just immediately add the beam in, and then that. Yeah, I think that's what we want to go with, and we sort of need to design around this aesthetic, I think, but I'm just trying to think about how the pillars are going to come in. I sort of want the pillars to go up from the middle of this section here, which means that the way it's designed now might not be right. So I need to make a choice. Do I stick with this look, or do I add a couple of beams to separate it out a little bit more? Tough choice. Then there are the sides as well. I don't know if I'll do more arches. I think so. I think we can get away with some more arches, but we don't exactly have to do that. Another idea, and look, I'm just thinking out loud here, but we could potentially have the bigger arches on the sides and then a small arch in the middle. That's sort of what I was about to start before. And then if we do the bigger arches in the middle, we could sort of maybe plan for where those pillars are actually, or how those pillars are actually going to come through the wall. Yeah, perhaps not a bad idea to get this opened up and ready for the work that we need to do. Might help us with planning the entire thing as well. Maybe Grouston from here. Maybe the edges, like the corners, could take some Grouston all the way up. And then we connect that way. Yeah. Alright. Anyway, gonna have to call it an episode here, guys. Bit of a mishmash episode, but I'm really glad that at the very least the back wall is sorted. We've got one tamed Askvin, so there are a few more activities for us to do now. I feel like we need to go out and try and find another Askvin to tame, obviously. If we find a starred one, that'd be good, but I'm not really too fussed about finding a starred one, to be honest. We'll see how we go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this episode as usual. If you did, drop me a like down below, some comments, some suggestions. Stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.